If you're someone who tends to feel stressed during the holidays, you're probably already there. You may not even notice it anymore because if it's the same story every year, your body knows when to go in the fight or flight or freeze zone on its own. The time of the year, weather, the mention of holidays, the music, all of these things can be cues or triggers, if you will, telling the body to go in the fight or flight or freeze mode. The thing is, this takes a toll on our mental health, and this is why we need to talk about it. And holidays used to affect my mental health as well. I lived in the United States for 20 years without any of my family, and it was really hard during holidays because even when I would get invited to other people's homes, they were never my home. And I lost many seasons to feeling blue, to feeling depressed, to feeling sad. But then I would see people who have a lot of family get just as stressed out. I would see people who have a regular size family get just as stressed out. And I realized it's really not about what's going on during the holidays. It's how we perceive it and how our body feels during the season. And I became determined to enjoy the season. So through this process, I've learned quite a few techniques that are very simple to implement in your daily life that would help you reduce stress and enjoy the holidays. Now, one of the reasons we get anxiety is because we already think about how the future is going to look like. We already think what kind of things is that uncle going to say that are going to piss you off, or what kind of gifts are you supposed to buy that somebody is not going to like, or what kind of parties you're going to go to and see the people that you don't necessarily care to be around. Now let's get to the actual techniques that are going to help calm you down. Now the first one is deep breathing or breath work techniques. When stress hits, our breath gets shallow, right? If there is a lion or a bear in front of you, you are ready to fight or flight and your breath gets shallow because there's a lot of adrenaline and other chemicals released in your body to help you fight or flight. It's not the time to breathe calmly and deep breaths. This is where we want to take initiative through our breathing to signal to our body, hey, there is no lion, there is no bear, I'm just choosing a gift. There's just a big traffic jam and I can still control how I'm feeling. So one of the ways to do this is to inhale deeply, hold, and then exhale and make that exhale longer than your inhale. You want to do about 5 to 6 deep breaths. That is enough to let your brain and your body know that, hey, we're not under attack, you can actually relax. Because through this breathing, you're signaling that it's calm. Another breathing technique would be box breathing, for example, where you do everything on count of 4. So you breathe in on count of 4, hold for 4, breathe out on count of 4, hold for 4. Okay? So you can do it like that. Think of it as a box, right? And another one that I'll share in this video, but know that there are many other ways to do it, would be breathing through one nostril at a time. So you can close one nostril, breathe in, switch it up, breathe out. And then breathe in through that same one. Close it, switch, breathe out. Now, I sounded super nasal there, but obviously for a reason. And like I said, there are many other techniques. You can look up other ones online, but these 3 are the easiest for people to remember. Obviously, if you're in public, you may look weird doing this, but you can take deep breaths and you can do box breathing. Nobody's going to notice that you are doing anything weird. The next thing that you want to start implementing, whether you're feeling stressed out or not, to be honest, is meditation. Now, this is called a practice for a reason. Oftentimes, when I mention meditation to my clients, they'll say things like, oh, I just cannot sit there and not have any thoughts. Yeah, that's exactly why we're practicing to meditate, till we get to a point where we can surrender and have no thoughts for periods of time. Because that's what the practice is teaching us. There are a ton of guided meditations you can find on YouTube, hopefully with no ads in the middle of them, which I experienced one time and it was not pleasant. But there are plenty that you can choose from. You can also do a 9-guided meditation where you just sit in silence, or you can find very uplifting meditation music that is instrumental, that has no guidance, but it will actually still help you relax and zone out. Now, obviously, you can't meditate anytime, anywhere, but you can implement this in the early morning as you're waking up or late at night before you fall asleep. Now, one extra way you can do this around holiday season is take a few minutes in the morning to meditate and stay calm and set the intention for the day. This way you're starting your day off on a calm note rather than already thinking about 1,000 things you need to do. The next technique would be rehearsing things before they happen. You can view this as visualization, as some people call it. It kind of goes together with breathwork and meditation that you can do at the same time. Now you can add visualization where you're in that relaxed state, you're laying down or sitting down, you close your eyes, you take a few deep breaths, you relax every muscle of your body, and then you start visualizing how you want things to go or visualizing what you would like to experience by the end of the day. Meaning, I can visualize myself going on a dinner and that dinner going well, but if that's really too much for me to visualize, I can just visualize myself going to bed at night saying, wow, that was a very pleasant dinner. I'm surprised how great of a time I had. Visualization really reduces anxiety and it primes your brain to handle stress better. Now, I'll tell you from my own experience, it takes more energy to visualize things you want and things going the right way because the brain is wired to what if something negative happens, and you'll have moments of these quick visualizations of negative things happening in your mind as you're doing this, and that's okay. You just retract back and you go back to visualizing what you want to experience, and main thing, focus on what you want to experience through a feeling and try to feel that through your visualization. The next technique would be learning to say no to things that don't serve you and learning to say yes to things of good energy. You don't have to say yes to everything. Here, I'm giving you a permission slip right now to say no to anybody, anytime. You don't have to show up to every event. Your mental health comes first, before the event, before the people that you'll see there. This doesn't make you selfish. It makes you respect yourself more because you will learn to set boundaries and you will learn to put yourself and your mental health first. And there's always a nice way to decline an offer. And under the same token, learn to say yes to surrounding yourself with people and energy that bring you up. You don't have to do anything traditional during the holidays. You can travel, you don't have to travel. You can buy gifts, you don't have to buy gifts. You could donate, you could do something for a good cause. You could create new traditions for your family. The next thing you can do through the holiday season is take supplements that are great for your brain and for calmness. There are 3 supplements that I highly recommend you pay attention to, especially during holiday season, but pretty much all year round. It's magnesium, nootropics, and D3. Magnesium is also called the calmness mineral. It helps our body relax. It helps relax our central nervous system and our muscles, which makes it easier to stay calm and to actually sleep better. Nootropics enhance mental clarity and focus. They are a type of supplement that is focused on your brain work. So they'll help you think better and reduce your stress. And then vitamin D3, which is actually a hormone, we call it a vitamin, is essential for boosting your mood and your overall well-being. We naturally get it from the sun, but in wintertime, we do not get out in the sun or we don't see the sun enough to absorb enough vitamin D. And then D3 needs to go with K2. And if you're looking for high-quality supplements, I'll leave the links in the description to Performance Labs Nootropic, Magnesium, and D3 with K2 that I've been using for months and are outstanding. They're natural, they're safe, they're perfect for giving your brain and your body what it needs. The next way that you can preserve your sanity throughout the holiday season is learning to set boundaries. Now, this is similar to learning to say no and yes, which already is a boundary, but this can be even more specific. Whether it's family, friends, coworkers, boundaries sometimes need to be set, sometimes needs to be reinforced, sometimes need to be reevaluated. You can set limits around how much time you spent with some people, what topics you're going to talk about, how much energy you invest in family obligations. Remember, you're not obligated to do any of it. And if they don't understand it, then that's on them. Now, boundaries can differ depending on the situation. Maybe there is that uncle that always says things that you don't like to hear, and you just set that boundary. You say, you know what? If you're going to keep talking like that, I am not going to participate in that. So I'm going to appreciate if you would stop that. And if you don't, I'm going to have to leave, or I'll ask you to leave. You can say things like, you know what? I would prefer if we don't discuss politics during dinner. Let's focus on catching up. When you're setting up a proper boundary, you're basically addressing how you want to be addressed and what you are going to allow or not allow around you. And then the boundary has the exit strategy. If the person does not follow your boundary, even after you reminded them 2 or 3 times, you exit and remove yourself out of the situation or them, depending on what's more appropriate. And the next technique that you can use is brain dump. Basically, it just means all the things that in your head that need to be done, put them on the paper. Then when they're on the paper, you know they're going to get done. This way you can go to sleep without thinking about 7,000 things that you have to do, because you will get them done. You won't forget they are on the paper or in the computer or on your phone. But just like anything, everything takes practice. So pick some of the ones that you can implement into your daily life, stick with those, and then add another one and another one and another one, because your mental health comes first.